Hey folks, Dan Frio here, the rate update. Today is January 19th, 2021, and thanks for all the feedback yesterday. Everybody's yelling at me that I didn't post an update. Guys, the markets were closed. I can't post an update that the markets are closed. But today we got some big news coming up. So let's get to it. This new segment is called Scrub, and it references stocks, crypto, real estate, and bonds. So let's start from the top. What's going on with the stock market today? Well, it's up, and the Dow's up 76 right now, S&P up 16, NASDAQ up 87. What's going on? Well, Janet Yellen, she was the Federal Reserve Chairman for a while, is now going to be the Treasury Secretary for the Biden administration. And she is basically coming out saying, if we're going to do this stimulus, go big or go home. Why? She's like, rates are so low right now, let's just do anything and everything we have to do to stabilize the markets and so we don't crash into a recession or a depression. That's because of those words, she's going to try really hard to pass the $1.9 trillion package or help the Biden administration do that, as well as probably do more and more and more. Okay, so the market likes that. They love it. So that's what's going on in the stock market. So I don't, short term, for the record, I'm fully vested. Again, I am not just for legality purposes, I'm not I'm a mortgage guy. Okay, that's what I do for a living. I don't recommend stocks. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a licensed broker. This is basically, I'm telling you what I am personally doing. It's for entertainment purposes for you guys, entertainment and educational. I am not in any way a financial advisor to you guys. So please don't trade off of my trades. That's my legal notes for today. So I'm just telling you what I am personally doing. And then look into that stuff. You guys do your own homework to see if what I'm doing might fit your agenda. So that being said, let's get back to this. Again, the stock market is moving. Short term, the market's going to keep moving and moving and moving. Why? Because there's so much money in the economy that's being pumped in that it's got to go somewhere. I mean, you can only spend so much when everything is shut down, so people are investing. Especially a lot of people that are still, this pandemic hasn't affected them financially, and millions and millions and millions of people have not been affected financially. And they're putting their money to work in the markets, as you see in the stock market. Right now, the stock market is overpriced. We're getting a greed index. So you can go to CNN and look up the greed index, and it is basically saying now I've seen it way down here before. It's saying that the markets are overpriced right now. So be very careful with that. For the short term, again, because there's so much money's being pumped in, it's got to go somewhere. People buy stocks, supply demand. The more demand pushes up the prices. So it's almost a point where you can throw a dart at something and make monies in the market. I'll give you my ideas, what I just traded on at the end of this video. Cryptos, holy snikes. Look at this move. Bitcoin isn't really moving much, and I'm looking into that. It's hitting a resistance level. It needs to break 40,000. This needs to break 40,000. That is some some major resistant lines. If we break the 40,000 mark, I think we're going to keep flying higher. I've been adding to my position on Ethereum. And I hate to say this, I was going to do a video yesterday on cryptos because everybody's asking for that. You know, what are these things? Somebody just mentioned, hey, I just found out that I can buy fractional shares. Yes, you don't need to jump in and spend $37,000 out of the gate. You can buy $100 worth of Bitcoin and so forth. So I'm going to try to do a video. It will be posted either today or tomorrow explaining the top. I'm going to go through these top two tiers. The number one ranked cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. Number two is Ethereum. I'm going to go over and show you what they are, how they're dramatically different, and how you can invest in these things, even if you have $100. So that is the cryptocurrency news. What is going on with the dollar? The dollar is going down. That is also helping the cryptocurrency. There's an inverse relationship. Is the dollar value goes down, the value of cryptocurrencies is going up. There's a nice correlation right there. And so, I hate to say we like when the dollar goes down, but the cryptocurrency market loves when the dollar goes down. As we keep pumping more and more trillions and trillions and trillions into the economy, it will create inflation. It will create inflation and devalue the dollar. So that is why I'm putting in my positions in these areas to hedge against the devaluation of the dollar. What's going on in the mortgage markets right now? The MBSs are down 11. Well, people are pumping their money in the stocks. They don't want nothing to do with bonds. And the MBS market, this is the biggest component of mortgage rates. This is what's happening to the price of the mortgage-backed security. As the price goes down with any bond, let me explain bonds for you real quick. As the bond price goes up, your yield comes down, okay? And vice versa the other way. Here, let me explain it again. I try to do this on videos, and I'm not trying to bore those that watch me every day. But let's say, for example, you're buying a $100 bond that matures next year. So on maturity, you're going to get $100. Today, you spend $50 for that bond. So the next year, you're going to get $100 back. What's your rate of return? Well, you doubled your money, so it's 100%. So that rate is 100%. Okay, so you spent $50, got 100% return, and got $100 back. Okay, so that's 100% return, 100% rate. So let's say now you pay $100 for that bond that you're going to get $100 back next year. What's your rate of return? We spent $100, you got $100, 0. So see, when you spend $100 and you get $100, your rate is 0. When you spend $50, you spend less money, your rate of return is $100. You get a higher yield or a higher rate. That's the easiest way for me to explain it. So the more you pay, the lower the rate. The lower you pay, the higher the rate. That is Bonds 101 for you guys today. So we just saw, this is going down a little bit. So mortgage-backed securities, I'm just going to say they're going to be stable. I do my mortgage report about 4 o'clock Central Standard Time every day, and I post that. So stay tuned with that. I'll have a more in-depth analysis on that. Good news is, and I'm leaving it at this right now, is foreclosures last year. This is how much the forbearance and all this other stuff has been helping the markets. And again, it's another, I hate to say it this way, it's another way of kicking the can. And I have forbearance videos out there, so please watch them. I actually reached out to a couple attorneys today and asked them if they would like to do a Zoom meeting and record that and discuss the forbearance, what's going on with forbearances. Forbearances are basically, it's allowing you as the homeowner to postpone, is the best way I can say that, postpone your mortgage payments. What do I mean by postpone? You're like, Dan, I'm in forbearance. I don't have to make my payment. Well, you didn't have to make it that month or those 6 months or those 12 months. Most of this forbearance started back in March of last year. What forbearance is basically you saying, I can't make my payments right now because of COVID. And the bank's saying, okay, just hold off. Don't skip. It's not being just completely withdrawn from your account. Just hold off. But then after that 12-month duration, what happens? In most cases, they're giving you, or they're making you bring your account current. The best case in that, the best case is they throw the whole balance at the end of the loan, and then you worry about it 30 years down the road. So you pay your mortgage for 30 years, and then all of a sudden you got this $20,000 balance still remaining. Another piece is they're taking your payment and they're dividing it up to 60 months, and they're adding that to your new payment. So that's the norm of what's going on. So let's say, for example, that comes to an extra $400 or $500 a month. Well, for the next 5 years, you might have to pay $400, $500, $600, $700 extra a month to catch up. So that's what's happening in most cases. There's ways around that, and I got videos to show you how to do that or how to deal with forbearances. I have plenty of videos on that. So then we move on to the economic calendar for today. There's really nothing out today. Look, it's a blank chart. But most of the week is just going about bond auctions and housing information. There will be some news out on Thursday about continued jobless claims and initial jobless claims. That could be a mover in the market. But the big news for that day the big news for tomorrow is the presidential inauguration. Guys, that's something we got to watch, because if there's mayhem, all bets off the table. So let's say, for example, there is complete mayhem. Well, cryptocurrency is going to be your best bet. Here's where we're going to go. I'm going to go over my thoughts on what I'm doing personally in my portfolio. So I've loaded up on a lot of blockchain technology, and that's in a piece that's associated with the cryptocurrency market. And again, I'm going to have more detailed videos on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and blockchains. I'll have that out within the next 48 hours. It is intriguing, and I'm learning and learning and learning every day about this piece of the market. If we see mayhem tomorrow, which I'm not anticipating, I'm anticipating some issues, but nothing, no civil war. But if you see issues, you're going to see the stock market crash. You're going to see cryptocurrencies go out the roof, meaning they're going to do fantastic. Okay, so let's say that's aside and everything kind of goes through okay. The Democrats are coming in, and and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I'm just saying the Democrats are coming in. They're taking over the presidential and Congress, the House and Senate. They like cannabis. They like stimulus. So those are the trades that we're going to look at. And they like everything green. So I'm also buying things such as a ticker symbol PLUG is an area that I'm looking at. And there's hydrogen cells. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm closely monitoring, adding to my positions on the cryptocurrencies, which is right here. And honestly, I'm not adding to my Bitcoin holdings. I'm adding to my Ethereum. And the best way to invest in these, I'll give you that in my video on how you can buy into cryptocurrencies. You can buy fractions. You can buy $100 worth of a $37,000 Bitcoin. I'm going to have that out within the next 48 hours. I'm going to show you how to buy it, where to buy it, where I buy it. Because I can buy fractional shares, and there's a lot of concern. You might have heard in the market where somebody lost, I think it was like $200 million of Bitcoin, and I'm not laughing. Because in most cases in the past, you would buy Bitcoin, and then you'd have to download your Bitcoin to like a USB drive. It's basically a wallet, and then you have to hold that, and that's your Bitcoin. If you lose it, you lost your Bitcoin. There's people now that bought Bitcoin at like 10 cents a coin. Now it's at almost 40,000 a coin. And they're like, oh man, I want to cash in. Where did I put that? And they can't find it. You imagine having $10 million or $20 million or $200 million of Bitcoin and you can't find it? Yikes. So that's my report today. I won't keep rambling. And I will be back later this afternoon with a report on what the MBS market is doing and the rate update, why people normally watch me to give you my insight on what's going on with the mortgage market and mortgage rates. So God bless. Take care. I'll see you later today. Bye-bye.